We've been talking a lot about hot messes lately here at the Academy. And here's the deal with it. First of all, we all have hot messes in our life, right? Like we might look at another person and say they're a hot mess, but really when we think about it, we each have some sort of hot mess somewhere in our lives. And the problem with that is this. Most often people think if they have a hot mess somewhere in their life, they've made some mistakes somewhere in their life, that mistake or that mess separates them from God. Like God's up in heaven judging our mistakes and being angry at us over each mistake that we make. So it's important to look at, what does God really think about our messes? What does God think about the messes I've made in my life or the mistakes? And what about yours too? Well, he lays it out for us. He lays it out in the Bible. In Psalm 103, he says that he understands how weak that we are. God understands how weak we are. That's what he says in the Bible. So God isn't surprised when I fail or when you fail. He knew it was going to happen. He understands. In fact, he expects it. And when you make a mess, here's the critical thing for today. When you make a mess, God doesn't stop loving you. Now, it's a hard concept for many of us to get because we live in a performance-based society, right? We're taught that when we succeed, we're valuable, or we're worthwhile, or we're significant. And when we fail, we're not valuable, or we're insignificant. You need to stop thinking about God as a judge of your performance. Instead, you need to think about God as like a perfect parent, the ultimate parent. And when you think about it, if you are a parent and you think about your kids' mistakes, you don't judge them based on mistakes they made years ago, right? Like we've had two boys, they're both adults now, and they went through the whole diapers and potty training thing and all that stuff. I don't remember who got potty trained faster. I don't remember who had more dirty diapers. You don't love your quickly potty trained children more when they become adults. You don't even remember. You see, their value to me has nothing to do with how many mistakes they made growing up. Your value as a person has nothing to do with your performance or your mess. God says to you, I love you, period. Just like parents say to children. You love your children unconditionally. God loves you unconditionally. There's nothing you could ever do that would make God love you more or make God love you less than he does right now. No matter how big your mess, no matter how dirty the diapers you've made are, God's going to pull you through your mess. He'll even help you turn it around and use your mess for good. That's the potential that you have. As a matter of fact, this is what God says about your mess. It's in the book of 2 Corinthians in the Bible. It says, God says that his grace is all you need. His favor is all you need. God says that his power works best in your weakness. Now, it could say mess, right? Instead of weakness, it could say God's power works best in your mess. So what mess is it that's been eating at you? Is it a marriage mess or a career mess or a school or financial, or is it personal or moral? What is it? Whatever it is, God says his power works best in your mess. So ask God to help you use your mess to help you grow, to help you become a better person. You see, people who are miserable allow their messes to consume their thoughts and their life. They're always stuck in it. But wise people actually use messes to their advantage. They learn from them. They grow for them. They become better people. They use it as a stepping stone to become a better person. You see, this isn't as important in the spiritual part of our lives as any other part. I see so many people fail at something, make some mess in their life they feel guilty about or whatever, and they just give up with God. Right? I've had so many conversations with people that say, oh, I've done this in my past, or I've done this right now, and I know God's kind of had it with me. That's ridiculous. The biggest mess you need to watch out for your entire life is the failure to receive God's grace. And all you have to do to receive that is ask. And that's straight Bible. That's a summary of the whole Bible. I don't care what mess you've gone through. I don't care which one you're in right now. God still has a purpose for your life. God still has a place for you. You're not done yet. But we all do have to continue to grow. And part of growing is learning how to better deal with our messes, because we all have them. But it's not the mess that's the story, though. It's the cleanup. It's how you deal with your mess. It's how you learn from it. It's how you grow from it. So to use your messes wisely, the first thing, don't make it messier. Don't make it even worse. Then recognize you're not alone. Just look in the mirror and say, I messed up. Nobody's perfect. Recognize you're not alone. Recognize it's not fatal. And recognize that you're going to be okay. No matter what it is, you're going to be okay. And then just see your mess as God does. Look at it and say, yep, that was wrong, and ask God for forgiveness. And then forgive yourself. Again, look in that mirror and say, nobody's perfect. I'm going to be okay. And then let God help you use your mess to help you grow. You can grow by writing your real life recovery story from your mess.